Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an AMX ELC, or rather an ELC AMX BIS. It's a tier 5 French light tank. It's located on the north spawn of Minsk, and this one is under the command of heavy999. Game underway. Well, I can see he's got the 75mm gun, which is the intermediate gun, not the stock one. That's a short barrel 75. And the Torster top gun is a 90mm. Now the 75mm is capable of 110 alpha, and it's got a reload time of 4.5 seconds on the book. Well, he's got 4.41. Now it is a light tank, which means it's very good at concealing itself from the enemy and doing some spotting work. And well, Heavy's taking it down to the centre line. Get shots on any of the enemy that turn up. I always like knocking these trees down on this corner because they do actually provide adequate cover to a certain extent. Always got a lot of spots there, huge number. Unfortunately, there's a T-37 on the Opera House. If he pops up, he's likely to get shot at. Yep, you can see him there. Now, what can I tell you about the ELC AMX? Well, it was part of the ELC project, started in 1955, and that was basically to produce a prototype tank destroyer which was capable of being used with the colonial troops or the airborne troops wherever they went. Oh, looks like T-37 fell off his spot, and he took a round there. Now, it was a very lightweight tank. It was originally designed to be only 7 to 8 tons in weight maximum. In fact, actually that's what it ended up being, 8 tons. And it was originally intended to drive very quickly, find the enemy, and then once it found them, do lots of damage. Oh, he didn't lock onto that one before he shot. He's trying to manually aim. Gets one in on the AMD. Yep, it's difficult trying to aim this manually, but if you try and auto-aim, sometimes it just doesn't work because the guy's moving too quickly. And he just took a round there from the M41. It was a near miss. And we also lost our P43 BIS to their Leopard. Well, this project was actually called the Engine Léger de Combat, which actually means light combat vehicle, or lightly armoured, heavily armed fighting vehicle for combat troops. And it was designed to be airborne, so it could actually be sent out to the colonies and used in places like Algeria and the like. Just missed a bit, VK3001. Now in the game, the top speed of this vehicle is 60 kilometers an hour, and it doesn't have very good top speed. But in reality, the AMX ELC was actually a very, very fast tank. It could do 80 kilometers an hour, and it had 250 brake horsepower from the little engine up front, and that meant that it actually could go incredibly fast, much faster than they've taken it in the game. Well, the reason is that Wargaming have actually, they nerfed the abilities of this tank quite a bit. It was just too much of a terror for many enemy tanks, and as a result they put a hamster engine into it, you might say, and it doesn't perform anywhere near as well as the original one did. Of course, the original one had the 90mm gun. Here comes the Leopard. And of course that 90mm gun, oh, he just took a couple of rounds. In fact, actually he took 6 rounds. I think he took 5 rounds from that Leopard. And he did get some high rolls on them as well. The alpha on the Leopard shots are 30, so the fact that he got 160 means that some of those rounds were probably high rolls. Okay, T-3485M. Didn't get that, but might be able to get him now he's tracked. Yes, he's getting nice pens on the engine bay. That one did the tracks, but we can't see him anymore. There's nobody spotting, and that shell missed. The crew was only 2. the driver was actually in a reclined position in the hull, and the gunner, who was also the tank commander, was half in and half out the turret. His lower half was actually in the vehicle hull, whilst his top half was in the turret, which made turning the turret very, very difficult. In fact, they could only turn the turret if the vehicle was stationary. Nice hit on the 25 TP. Could get another one. Tracked him. 25 TP is looking over here. And he's firing in this direction, but he's going to go if he's not careful. Next shot. Yep, got him nicely. First kill. Ah, Wolverine. Easy with that. That guy's got very thin armor indeed. It's basically only 10mm thick in some places. As that T-3485 is a one shot. And the KV-1 is a two shot for heavy. T-25-2 making a quick dash across the centre line. Nice. Can you get another one in? Yes. He was seen, so he had to pull back, because otherwise it might be awkward. Gets a third round in, which makes the T-25-2 very vulnerable. Now, as I said, it's a 90mm gun that was originally fitted to this vehicle, and the only surviving version is actually at the Tank Museum at Saumur in France, and that gun will do 240 alpha, and it takes 14 seconds to reload. Okay, so he's damaged his gun now, and ooh, the M44 whacks him for 158. That hurts. Okay, there's the M12. I deal with the M12 first and then go after the M44. I don't think the M44 can see him at the moment, but the M12 will expire with one shot. Oh, and there he goes. So he got... Did he get the spotting of that? No, I don't think he did actually. Somebody else must have been spotting the M12. In fact, that's probably the IKV-103 who's behind him, who is in sight of the enemy. There's the M41 that hit him earlier. He didn't get a shot into that, but he was seen, and again, he's had to pull back. Lost his commander. You need to fix your commander, because otherwise, and he can't because his first aid kit's on cooldown. Otherwise, if the driver goes down, then he's lost the vehicle altogether. Well, finds a blind shot in where the M41 was last seen. So he needs to be very careful. He is a one shot and the splash kill for any of the Arty. Oh, yeah. The Wolverine did see him. He popped up. Wolverine got around into him with the 3-inch gun, either that or one of the other guns the Wolverine carries. So good game in terms of damage done, and I'm pretty sure they are going to win this because it's 6 against 2. The only enemy's only got 2 left now, the M44 and that Wolverine. But the Wolverine is a good player. And he does have 2 kills, including heavy. Maybe he shouldn't have popped up like that, but I think he wanted to do a bit of spotting. See if he could get some more XP before the end. He's cycling through his teammates who are still alive. Some of the others are saying that they should move up, especially that Super Hellcat. He really shouldn't be back here, but he is a very inexperienced player indeed, which is probably the reason why he's set to staying back to guard the cap. The only 2 tanks who are moving up are the Churchill, and well, we just lost the IKV-103 to their M44, so we knew where the IKV was, and that's probably because the Wolverine was spotting. So I think this M12, the M44, everyone's going to have to move up to try and find that Wolverine and take him out. The Churchill stopped for the meanwhile. I think he just doesn't want to go round the corner just in case he gets seen by the Wolverine. But really, the only tank he needs to fear is the M44, to be honest. If the Wolverine sees him and fires on him, then he's going to get a shot in. He's saying the Arty's next to the cap circle. So I think the Churchill just needs to turn round and go down south along the that main road, and then come towards the cap from the east side, and that way he should be able to spot the M44 and take him out. And if he doesn't, then he'll arrive in the cap circle and then be able to deal with the Wolverine. But if he stays here at this moment, all that's going to happen is the Wolverine is going to take out one by one as our teammates move up. He's going to find them and kill them. It's far better for the Churchill to actually move up, find the Wolverine and do something about him. Well, it looks like the Gorilla's moving now as well. At last, the Super Hellcats decided to come into the game. And unfortunately, we just lost the M12. The Wolverine is on the west side of the map. And that may be a bit of a mistake by the Wolverine, because if he's over there, he's not spotting for the M44. And that means the cap is, well, the cap is probably vulnerable. Now, he's wasting ammo just firing from this position. He cannot see the Wolverine. And God knows how he learned how to play the game, to be honest. They're saying the Wolverine's on his way back. He might be. But I think for the moment they need to go to the enemy cap and force the Wolverine to come back. They have to cover the cap area. Super Hellcat is coming through the buildings, which is good. At least he hasn't gone out into the open, which would have made him an easy target. And the Churchill's almost at the cap area. If both of them get into the cap, it's more than likely the M44 will try and shoot at them if he's down the west end. Obviously, he's going to fire on this corner. The other way to do it is for the Super Hellcat to go off into that little area over there on the left. Yes, he's doing it. Good. He's thinking on his feet. Yeah, you get into that corner. And the Wolverine is up the other end. And he's now attacking our Gorilla. And the Gorilla, well, is watching him. The Wolverine, I think, knows where he is. But... And the Gorilla has fluffed his shotgun, which means the Wolverine will take him out now. Yeah. And in fact, actually, yep, he got the kill. And now he's heading back. But I think he may have left it too late. The Wolverine. I think he's screwed the pooch, you might say. As they do say in some circles. Because by spending his time attacking the Gorilla, he's actually made it much easier for our teammates to cap out, and they've done that. So it's a victory. And it was a victory because the Wolverine made a classic error of thinking, oh well, I can head north and my teammate will cover the gap for me. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Here's the end of battle results for heavy999 in the AMX ELC BIS. He managed an ace tanker in that game, even though he got destroyed. He also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, but more importantly, he picked up his second mark of excellence in that game, so he's well on the way to getting his third mark as well. He got a 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he managed to get 8, a spotter badge for, a patrol G badge rather, for spotting at least 6 enemy tanks whilst they were being damaged, and a Confederate medal as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate from that battle, 7,892, which is high Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score and see where he stands. Well, he did get the highest damage in the game, but he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool, and that's why he didn't get the high caliber. 1,685 hit points of damage. The next high scorer being the KV1 on the enemy team with 1,608. And after that, it was the Wolverine, the guy who killed him. Dimitri's medal for him. He managed to get 1,255 hit points of damage, but he lost them the game because, of course, he went off looking for Arty. Get his Dimitri's, yes, but at what cost? He lost the game. So, when it came to kills, we can see that it was the Wolverine who did the best with 5 kills. 2 kills went to the KV1 and the M44 in the enemy team. The Churchill won, the M44 and the Super Hellcat. I'm afraid Heavy only got 1 kill in the entire game. But when it came to base XP, he was tops with 1,120. 622 went to the VK2801 on his team, the Leopard. And 615 went to the Churchill 1 as well. He fired 31 rounds in that game, got 20 direct hits and 16 penetrations, damage of 1,685 hit points, of which 790 were at more than 300 meters. He received 10 hits from the enemy, 7 of them penetrated, 2 non-penetrations, and 2 hits by way of splash damage as well. 6 enemy vehicles were spotted, 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, and 1,842 hit points of spotting assist. He earned 47,229 credits on a premium count, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables. And yeah, the consumables was expensive. He was using the larger ones. He actually ended up with a loss of 35,431 credits for the game. He picked up 1,680 XP. Same again for completing a mission, and took away 3,360 experience points altogether. So yes, he's only 10% now away from getting his third mark, and it's obviously quite difficult to really do well in the AMX ELC because so many people play it. To get onto either the wheeled vehicles branch or to go up the light tank branch, which I think is more interesting on the French tech tree than the wheeled vehicles. The wheeled vehicles really don't do it for me, whereas the light tanks on the French tech tree do it for me. They are quite good. So well done to heavy999. If you enjoyed this replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.